Alright, what's up everybody, it's Kami, welcome back to another JoJo day. Kamimas, I don't know why I called it JoJo, but it's Kamimas, and we're back, and it's late, and I'm tired while recording this. I do apologize for this one. This one is going to be more laid back than the other one, but you know, the Kamimas videos are meant to be more, I guess, relaxed and, you know, a little more just, hey, you know, let's sit down and talk about things that we like and things that we dislike about in JoJo, you know. So what we're gonna do in today's Kamimas day, this is day 2, by the way. Merry Kamimas to everybody out there. I hope you guys have been having you know, a delightful time so far. We're getting close to, you know, Christmas. There's like, you know, like what, like not too many days left of till Christmas, right? So Christmas is gonna be cool. You know, people are finishing finals and such. Good luck to everybody doing all of that, you know. Good luck to everybody else doing whatever you guys are doing. But today we're going to be talking about JoJo parts and parts that we like. And, you know, a lot of people don't like part 6, but you know what? I like Poochie going at supersonic speeds because you have to live and learn how to control Made in Heaven by going super fast. You know, I tried to segue into a Sonic joke. I don't know how to segue into things yet. Alright, so starting off with part 1. Part 1 is really good. I really like part 1. I think it's an amazing start to an amazing series, and it's definitely what caught my attention on JoJo, and it pretty much just, you know, made me appreciate and love JoJo from the start. You know, I'm not gonna lie, like I started JoJo and I had no expectations for the series other than I was like, you know, told that it was really good. And you know, it looked really cool, so I was like, alright, I'm probably gonna like this, you know, I'm gonna be into it. So I, you know, went into JoJo expecting to like it, and I came out liking it, and you know, JoJo's great for that. But part 1 was pretty much where it all started. After the first episode, I was hooked. I think it's an amazing start. A lot of people, you know, say they don't like it as much or things like that, but I definitely think this, and we talked about this on the podcast, which is going up on the end of Kamimas, which is going to be on Christmas. So you guys get an hour-long podcast with me, Medi, Asuka, Zipper, X-Forts, and my buddy Caleb, and we're all just sitting down talking about part 1 for about an hour. So you guys will get that, and you guys will get to hear me elaborate a little more on part 1 on that video, and you guys will get to hear everybody else elaborate on part 1. But as of right now, you know, just for the sake of making this video, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Part 1 is a really good part that I think you will definitely appreciate more if you go back to it after, guys. So what I'm saying is, you know, after you know, watch or read part 1 or whatever it is that you do, you know, and you're caught up on JoJo or whatever, and you know, you feel like, you know, watching something, you feel like watching like an anime or going to sit down and do something, you know, definitely go check out part 1 again. I think it gets better the more, and you know, the more you go back and revisit it. It's really good. It's really strong. Araki establishes a lot of things with his writing. Araki builds up really good characters. You get Dio, you get Jonathan. Everything is just really good and really lovely. I love it so much. It's a really good start. It doesn't deserve the you know, the disrespect that it gets, I guess. Not really disrespect, more so misappreciation. There we go. That's a good word. And then moving on to part 2. Since this is Kamimas, I'm going to cut it some slack, but as you guys know, I have a video talking about why I don't like part 2, and to keep it short and sweet for this, because I don't want to talk about it too long or else everybody's going to attack me again. Pretty much, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, first off, so don't get butthurt in my opinion. Alright guys, you know, you guys have your opinions too, and by the way, leave down below in the comments section which JoJo part you guys like the most, you know. We did the same thing with our favorite Joestars and stuff, and I'm still reading comments, you know, as I'm recording this and such, you know, and I'm still getting new ones, because that video went up like way later than it was supposed to be. Now this one is going to go up on time because, you know, I'm recording with a little more time ahead than I did with the other one, and you know, I'll be able to render and upload it overnight. So by the time you guys are seeing this, because like I said, I am recording this at night, which is why I'm being a little bit quieter. Then I'm also extremely tired, but you guys will see this at normal scheduling time, which is pretty much 3 p.m. Eastern. But you know, keep it short and sweet. I think part 2 is good ideas executed poorly. You know, I thought some of the ideas were cool, some of the stuff would have been really cool, but they just didn't pull it off right, you know, and just didn't feel right. Felt kind of weird. I don't really like Joseph a lot. I don't like a lot of things in part 2. You know, I love me some Lisa waifu action. See, I told you guys I'm tired. But you know, that's not gonna save the part for me. That doesn't just do it all. You know, I need more. I have Wamu, but that's pretty much it. You know, I've already talked about this, so I'm not gonna ramble about it anymore. Moving on, we're gonna talk about part 3, Stardust Crusaders. Now, when I got to Stardust Crusaders in the anime, I was excited. I had heard about stands, you know, prior to this. I hadn't gotten to stands yet, so I was like, all right, we finally get to see these new stand powers. I get to finally see what this stuff is all about. I get to, you know, dive into it, and I liked the hell out of it, all right? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really liked part 3 a lot when I got into it. A lot of people say that, you know, they think it's slow reading it and watching it. I can definitely see, you know, the pacing being slow and such, and people wishing that they did more things, but, you know, it's part of the writing style of the villain of the week, you know, aspect of part 3 is what makes it seem like it drags on so long, because at least with the anime, they take 2 episodes usually for a fight for the most part, and the first episode is pretty much the stand explanation, explaining all of its powers, and then a little bit of action, and then the second half, the fight, which is the episode after that, the second part, is where they have all of the action, and then, you know, the climax of that fight. And I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't like this, but, you know, having the villain of the week type of thing, I think this works perfectly fine, especially since it's the first part where they're introducing stands. I think they do a good job with it, because part 4 also has this villain of the week thing that a lot of people, you know, for some reason they don't pay attention to the fact that there's a lot of villain of the week stuff in part 4, but, you know, they want to give part 3 shit for it. It's whatever. You know, I'm just pointing that out there, right? I'm just throwing that out there, but part 3 is not that bad. I really like Dio a lot. You know, like I mentioned before, I like seeing Dio come back again. I thought Jotaro was okay. I thought Kakyoin was okay. I thought, you know, Joseph, like old Joseph, was definitely better than young Joseph, in my opinion. And Abdul was great, you know. And then Iggy. Iggy's just a little doggo boy, you know. I can't not like the dog. The dogs are cool. But other than that, Stardust Crusaders is really just, you know, I guess just like, I don't know, it's my guilty pleasure, I guess. I just like Stardust Crusaders a lot, and I enjoyed it. It was pretty fun. Now, the next part that we have is Diamond is Unbreakable, and by the time I started reading Diamond is Unbreakable, well, by the time the Diamond is Unbreakable anime got announced and it came out, I was already on part 6, so immediately after I finished the part 3 anime, I went and I started reading part 4, and holy shit, since it was my first dose of the manga at the time, I really enjoyed it a lot. The part 4 manga was amazing, liked seeing the art style change, you know, from Araki. I like seeing his just overall storytelling, you know, progress forward. I thought Kira was a really cool and interesting villain. I thought Bites the Dust was a cool ability. I thought Crazy Diamond was a cool ability. I thought the hand was really cool. You know, I really liked all of the different, you know, just stands that they have in part 4 and all the different characters, really. There's not much for me to really say about part 4 other than that. It's just one of those things where you kind of just got to go in, you got to check it out yourself. You know, I can't really express my like and, you know, like my love for it. It's just really good, and you should just, you know, definitely check it out. It's almost done with the anime. There's 2 more episodes left as of the time I'm recording this and uploading this, which I will be reviewing those last 2 episodes. And to give you guys a sneak preview, next Thursday I'm going to be doing a recap on the Diamond is Unbreakable anime as a whole up until, you know, pretty much the last episode, and then you guys will get the review of the last episode from me next Friday, so that'll be cool. You guys can check that out. And then moving on to the next thing, we have part 5, Vento Aureo, and holy shit, part 5 is way better than I thought it was at first. And I always said this a lot, the more and more I read into JoJo, the more, you know, I look back at it and I reread things, the more I start to appreciate it and like it as a whole. But part 5 is definitely one of the parts that I slept on a bit when I first got to it. I understand that it has really bad scans for the most part, you know, and it's like, you know, really weird to read, but if everybody else read it and we love it as much as we do, you can do it too. There's no excuse. Don't wait for the VA anime to happen. We don't know if it's going to happen. I'm hoping it's going to happen, but we don't know if it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, so get to reading, boys. That's all I can really say. But Vento Aureo has really cool stands, again, just like part 4 and part 3. I thought part 3 has some cool stands, although it has a couple of, you know, dull ones, I guess. Part 5 has a lot of cool stands. There's amazing fights. Arguably some of the best fights from the entire JoJo series happen in part 5, and a lot of them are really cool because most of the fights are a fight to the death. And when you have a fight to the death, that means that there's, you know, no restrictions on anybody. Everybody's fighting at max power, and everybody's using their stance to their maximum capacity. And this was what I love so much about it. The fact that we get to see all of these, you know, stands and all these people fighting at full power all the time is just really great, you know. There's nothing holding them back from absolutely using every possible ability they can try to beat somebody. And I love that so much about the part. It's great. It's really cool. But you have that. The main cast is really cool. I love seeing the interactions between the main cast. And if you guys want to hear me, ramble more about part 5, because we'll continue on to the next part now, I have the Burning Down the House podcast episode 1 on part 5, with Medi, Asuka, and Zipper. It's on the channel. You guys can go ahead and check that out. I had a fun time, recording it with them. They had a fun time recording it. You guys enjoyed it, which is why we came back and did, the next episode on part 1, which again comes out on Christmas. So look forward to that. I'm going to keep, promoting it and stuff, because I want you guys to, mark your calendars, and just on Christmas Day when you have some free time, you get to sit down and, watch it and listen to it, and it'll be really fun. So now we're going to be hopping on to one of my personal favorites, and I'm always juggling this in my top 3 favorites, and that is Stone Ocean. And I understand a lot of people don't like Stone Ocean. Now, Stone Ocean has a very slow start. That's definitely for sure. I can't sugarcoat that. And I'm not going to be biased here, even though I do like, Stone Ocean. There are its fair share of problems here and there. A lot of people don't like JoJolion. I don't see, how you can't like JoJolion. 1, she's waifu. 2, I really like JoJolion's character development just from the start of the series to the end, and the progression that she gets of not liking JoJo to understanding why he did everything to, protect her and keep her out of harm's way until, they got to these certain circumstances, and her going back and retrieving her father's stand disc and, being connected to his memories and such like that. It was just really heartwarming to see them finally come back together, and in the last moments of, the part, you get to see JoJo, holding JoJolion close, and he's trying to protect her, and stuff goes wrong and they all die, and it's really sad, but it's good to know that at least in their final moments together, it went from, well, at least from JoJolion's end, she went from, completely hating this man to, realizing that's my father and he cares about me, and, I gotta do what I can to, help him, so we can stop this bad guy. And I just appreciate that so much about part 6. I like Emporio a lot. I have a 30-minute video talking about Emporio, and I've been wanting to talk about him more, but I pretty much said everything that I needed to say about the character in that video, and it was a really sad video. So you guys can go ahead and check that out. That's also called Burning Down the House. However, it's not, like an episode 1 or anything like that, so you'll know the difference, and the thumbnail and, the actual video title has Hayato's name in it, so you guys can go check that out. That was one of my older videos. I had a really fun time making it. But I like Emporio. I like part 6. Of course, it has its flaws. It has a couple boring stands here and there. I thought, a couple of them were pretty cool. We get things like Weather Report. We get things like Made in Heaven. You get Burning Down the House is cool. Dragon's Dream. I know people don't like Dragon's Dream. I didn't mind it. I didn't mind seeing Underworld and, the rest of Dio's children's stands. Bohemian Rhapsody and Sky High. I thought they were cool. I thought they're all cool. I thought a lot of the stands, for the most part, like I said, were dope. Foo Fighters was dope. Hermes was dope. Just everything was really cool. I liked it. I liked the prison environment. I think I've rambled too much about part 6. We'll move on to part 7 because, oh, Jesus, I have a lot of things to say about part 7. And now that we're on part 7, holy shit, this part is so good. Like, when I got to part 7, I was so excited. I mean, first off, I was hurt by part 6's ending. So I was still, recuperating from my my Emporio trauma. My PTSD. You guys know I got that bites the dust PTSD shit. But anyways, when I got to part 7, I was just, captivated by it, and I kind of just fell in love with the part from the very first, couple of panels and stuff. And it was just really exciting to me. I was ready for this race. I was ready for this adventure. I was ready to see Gyro grow, and then we got Johnny introduced. I was ready to see Johnny grow. We get to Ringo Road again. There's this amazing fight. We get Welcome to the True Man's World as the quote. And then Gyro grows up as a character. Then it shifts the main focus to Johnny. And Johnny grows up as a main character. And, he doesn't hesitate to have to kill anybody if he has to. He doesn't hesitate, when it comes to taking his actions anymore. And I love that so much about the character. He grows up so much just from the start of Steel Ball Run to the end. He's so determined. He has this fire in his eyes to do what he has to do to get his objective. And, of course, to stop the president. Oh, that was nasty. I just burped. I don't even know if I'm going to keep that in or cut it out. But anyways, it was like, just really dope. Seeing all of the stuff unveil in part 7. I really like all the characters. All the stands are extremely exciting. Funny Valentine is an amazing antagonist. I guess, he's our villain. Diego is a great antagonist. Alternate Diego is an amazing villain. He's like super evil. There's not even any debates about that. I can't even say, oh, he's just an antagonist. No, that guy's bad. Alternate Diego is pretty much Dio in terms of just how he acts and stuff. But, you know, we have them back. Well, not back, but you get the point. And all of the things that just happened in part 7 are so exciting. It's such a, you know, fun, wild ride from start to finish. You really feel like you're going with these characters through this race and, you know, through everything that goes on. And as you watch it unveil in front of you, you know, everything is just, it feels so real. I know it's weird, you know, because they're doing all this shit with stands and collecting the corpse parts of Jesus Christ. But it just feels really real, and the journey is just great. Everything feels natural between the characters. I love all the interactions between everybody, all the side characters. You have people like Sandman, Mountain Tim, Blackmore, and you know, just all these guys are just really cool. The Tubular Bells user, there's Lucy Steele, there's Steven Steele, there's of course the President, Valentine, there's Scarlet Valentine, his wife. We have Hot Pants, you know, all these people in the race, Weka Pico. Everybody is just so great. I love all these characters so much. It's just amazing. Steel Ball Run is really, you know, just a crazy ride. And last but not least, because we've been talking for a long time, is part 8, JoJolion. Now, JoJolion is amazing, okay? I wasn't caught up on it for a while. I caught up on it now, completely up to date. Waiting on this new chapter to get translated so I can go ahead and make a review video on that and talk about that. I'm also going to be making a video giving my thoughts on JoJolion as of now, you know, pretty soon in the future. And by the way, if you guys do want to see me, you know, do a collab on a specific video with like X-Force or Medi talking about part 8, you know, comment down below, you know, leave comments on their videos, you know, stuff like that. Me and X-Force do have a couple ideas in mind, but like I said, you know, if you guys want to see it, then, you know, we'll probably get around to it quicker because there's a higher demand for it. And if you guys want to see us talk about these things, then we'll definitely talk about these things. But anyways, part 8 is so good, so amazing from start to where it is right now. I say it's about at the halfway point. The journey that we've had so far of our main character, Gappy, this is what they call him, that's his nickname, and our main character, Josuke, who, you know, starts off not knowing who he is, not having any memories at all of anything, is discovered by Yasuho at the rock wall eyes. A really weird place. He has, you know, 4 balls. He's got a giant dick. My boy has, you know, this star mark on his neck. You know, he's got the Joestar mark, and he just doesn't know what's going on. And you know, she helps him out. They eventually go to the Higashikata household. You know, and he gets to stay there with them, and as he stays there with them, he's trying to figure out, you know, who he is and who's his ally and who's his enemy. Finds out that they're also stand users. He befriends all of them, and you know, has his battles against a couple of them. There's a beetle fight over a Lamborghini prize. There's the Milagro Man where Joshu gets extremely rich. Part 8 is just so good. Everything about it is just so appealing. I love all of the stand usage in it. I love that not every stand fight is, you know, meant to be like a I'm gonna kill you fight XD. No, everything is just there for character growth and character development so that our main character can go to the next point, which our main character is a fusion between 2 people, Josefumi and Kira. And Josefumi, I think, is the greatest written character in all of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is pretty much Gappy, you know. But him before Fusion and after Fusion, I think he's the best written character ever that we've gotten in JoJo as a whole. He's just so good, and Araki's just definitely stepped his game up to this point, and it makes me extremely happy as a fan that we have, you know, all this greatness in JoJo. But so you guys are probably wondering, you know, what my favorite part is. Well, like I said, I jumped between my favorite part. I can definitely say 7 is up there. But as of right now, I think it's kind of safe-ish for me to say, now I think about it, the part 8 is my favorite. So if I were to give you guys a list of my favorites, now keep in mind this is my opinion, and I always say this, I think that all of the JoJo parts are good, given I think that part 2 is the, you know, least out of, it's the least best out of all the parts. I still think it's good, and it's better than a lot of other things on its own. I just don't think it's good compared to JoJo, but keeping a mental note. Okay, so part 8 is my number 1 favorite. Then we have part 7. Then we have part 6. Then we have part 5. And then it's 4, 3, 1, and then 2. Now keep in mind, I like all of these parts, right? These are just, my personal things. So we have 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 2. It's pretty much just going backwards. But that's just how I feel about all the parts, I really like them a lot. And I really appreciate Stone Ocean. I appreciate its ending. I appreciate the stands and the really cool stuff that we get to see in part 3. And sorry that you guys are hearing my knuckles crack. It's just, I gotta crack my knuckles. I like that in part 4 we have like a more, slice of life kind of JoJo, and it takes a twist on itself, which we also go back to in part 8. Because we're back in Morio once again, and we have, similar situations, similar characters. It's just dope. Part 7 has the whole, horse race. I love the horse race. I don't really have much else to say. I've said everything, It's just to give you guys a quick overview, I guess. Part 1, like I said, it has that classic nostalgic feel to it, really. And then part 2, I don't really care much about it, but it's not the worst thing out there. Anyways, if you guys did enjoy this super long video, go ahead and feel free to leave a like, because, it lets me know that you guys are enjoying the 12 days of Kamimas up till now. I just hiccupped really bad, holy shit. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, then go ahead and feel free to leave a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. I upload JoJo's Bizarre Adventure content regularly on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Wednesdays? I'm so tired right now. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But for the 12 days of Kamimas, I'm going to be having a video go up every day up until Christmas. So if you guys are, enjoying this so far, well then, I appreciate it. I really do. But once again, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and feel free to subscribe. Thank you guys for helping me get to 1.6k. If I do hit 2k before 2017, before New Year's, if I, miraculously hit 2,000 subscribers, I will record myself walking outside in the cold, whether there's snow outside or not, in my boxers. Alright, I'll do it. I'll go outside in the cold, and I'll like dance or some shit. I don't know what I'll do. I'll go out there and I'll be on some goofy stuff. Alright, I'll just do something goofy, but I'll do it. So if you guys really want to see me do that, then I guess help me get to 2k before the end of the year. I definitely didn't think I'd get to this point, but hey, we got here. And you know how I got here? By living and by learning, and that's how we segue into shit. Let's go. Outro, boys. Good night.